Good afternoon. Dwayne here, Dry Creek Wrangler School. I know that I uploaded a rather large video yesterday, and it is not my normal habit to upload 2 videos back to back, but I'm going to today, and I'll explain why in a minute I'm doing this. But anyhow, today we're in here in the tack shed, and Mama's actually behind the camera with me. If you see smoke wafting over, she's got her pipe going, and but we got a good fire going in the wood stove, and I'm in here warming up. This morning when we got up, the wind chill, it was negative 41 degrees, and at the height today it got up to negative 12 degrees without the wind. And so I went up on top to go to check on the horses, and then also we've got a gooseneck horse trailer here, one of the solid ones, and so I drug that up there and put it in the trees so that they've got something to stand behind in case of a north wind. Checked on them, and they're all doing great. They're all fat and fuzzy and looking good, but I got cold. I mean, I got real cold, and so I came back, and Mama had a pot of homemade white chili on the stove ready. Now, if you don't know what white chili is, picture chili. It's exactly the same, but it's totally different. So instead of hamburger meat, you use chicken. And instead of pinto beans, you use white beans. And then for the sauce, is instead of tomato, cream cheese. Anyhow, we put big Frito tortilla chips in a bowl and pour that over it, put some cheese and sour cream on it, and it's good. And it's very warming, just like chili is, but I have a hard time with tomatoes and tomato sauces and tomato chilies and stuff. So she does this instead. So anyhow, that was waiting for me, so we had that up. And I told her, I said, I need to go out in the shop, and I need to warm up, and I need to make another video. So she came out to help me. I uploaded that video yesterday of that entire podcast with Brad Lee, and I'm a little disappointed in how that video has been received. I have never tolerated rudeness on this channel, a discourtesy. I don't like rude people. I don't like rude behavior. And there's folks on here that are of our belief system and the way we do things. And I've constantly, since we started, got on there and stopped rude behavior and shut people down for that. And then a fella invites me to come on and sit down and have a conversation with him. And he has a different viewpoint about some things than I do. He has a different approach than I do. And some of you guys just were extremely discourteous to this fella. He's not a grifter. He's a very successful businessman. Finances and money is what he does. Just like, so if you were having a conversation with a heart surgeon, one of the nation's top heart surgeons, you wouldn't be surprised if in the midst of the conversation, whatever the conversation happened to be, the heart surgeon brought up, you need to take care of your heart. Because that's his world, and that's his focus, and that's what he does. And so Brad's deal is business. I spent all day with him, and he was extremely courteous. He was very generous. He was very fun. There were some things in that podcast, some of that conversation, he's on one side and I'm on the other, but that's what a conversation is. That's what a conversation is. And if we can't have a civil, polite, fun conversation with somebody who's on a different path, who sees things different, there was nothing disrespectful. All right? There was no reason for us to be disrespectful to someone who wasn't disrespectful. Now you look at his disrespect. I asked Momma yesterday, I'm like, man, these comments, they have their knives out and I don't understand it. And she told me, Dwayne, they're protecting you. They love you and they trust you and they're afraid if someone is trying to change you. Well, I appreciate that, and I love you guys for it, but he wasn't trying to change me, all right? He was offering his side, if this helps, all right? And I don't think it was taken the way it was offered, okay? I would really like for the comments, at least on my channel, I would really like for them to be courteous, okay? I don't let religious people get on here and bash other people over faith. And so I don't like us doing that to someone else. It was his podcast, guys. I was in his house. I was a guest in his house. All right? We need to behave as such. Now, I don't know if this is how this is normally done on YouTube, but I ain't normal YouTube. All right, I'm Dwayne. I ain't changing. I am who I am. I do things what I do. I don't like discourteous rudeness for any excuse. We can let somebody have their viewpoint and their way of doing things, and we can do so with the grace and the politeness and the courtesy that we would expect them to show to us. All right? So I wanted to put that out there because I've been really troubled about it. Okay? So anyhow, I want to do a book recommendation and a book review, and this evening, see if I can keep this thing lit. I do this every time I get to talk and let my pipe go out. Got a Boswell. This is one of my 2 Boswells that I own, and I got Carter Hall in it. I go to Carter Hall more often now than about anything, just because it's just a real honest smoke. It lights easy. It's not finicky. I don't have to worry about it. So that's what we've got going on. Anyhow, the book is called The Log of a Cowboy. The Log of a Cowboy by Andy Adams. Now, Andy Adams, this book is a book of fiction. All right? But there's been a lot of people who know the life that have read this and made the mistake thinking this is an actual log. It's that realistic. And so the guy who wrote this book was an actual cowboy back in the day. Experience. And so he did not write this so much from the view of Hollywood, Louis L'Amour. So he wrote this from the view of somebody who lived it. And so the stuff that's in it about a working cowboy pushing cattle is so realistic. It's just fascinating. And, you know, the reality a lot of times is more fascinating than fantasy. And so if you want to read a book, if you want to read a good Western book, this one's been out for a long time. It was first written in, let's see if I can find it here, 1903. Boston, New York, Houghton Mifflin and Company, 1903. I guess that's the first time it was written. The first copyright here. It's been out for a long time. So the guy that wrote it back during the height of the West. And he wrote it with experience. And so I know a lot of you young guys today, you're interested in the West and ranching and lifestyle. That's why I recommended a couple videos ago, I recommended Wyoming Way. Pete Burgess and his I said his last name. Sorry, Pete. Hope that's okay. Because he's just working cowboy, and his video on there is showing what he does. And this is one that shows the reality, not the flash and the Hollywood. And it's a very entertaining, very fascinating read, but it has a lot of just the real realities of what actual cowboying's about. Okay? This is the anti-Yellowstone. Okay? So if you've been watching Yellowstone, you think that's real cowboying, you think that's real ranching, read The Log of a Cowboy by Andy Adams. All right. And look at the other side of it, written by an actual real cowboy about real cowboying. Okay. And there ain't no Hollywood in this book. So you might like it. Okay. So anyhow, I just wanted to just make a short video. And I feel bad saying something, but I felt like I needed to. Okay. Brad didn't deserve the treatment that he got. He didn't deserve that. Okay. And I was with him. All you saw was clips of a video, and you took from that and you compared this to that and you made up your mind what he is. Okay. That's not what he is, and he didn't deserve that. And so I addressed it just because that's what I do. All right, folks, this is who we are. This channel is all about being better people. And I did not see better people showing up in the comment section of this. And even worse, I mean, this is me uploading it, but the comments on his uploading on his channel was just very disrespectful, very discourteous, and very not who we are and who we're trying to be. Okay? So if you guys will take a little bit of hey from Uncle Dwayne, then that's what we got here. All right, let's step back and take a look at it and say, is this who we really are? All right. If I work hard at helping us be courteous, then I'm not going to be happy if we're discourteous for my sake. Okay? All right. So anyhow, enough of that. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you guys being so encouraging to me and looking out for me. All right. I'm not ungrateful. All right. And Mama has been studying. She's been looking it up. And we are only about, 23,000 away from 1 million. And so we're going to try to have maybe about an hour of live stream once we hit 1 million. We'll let you know when. And we're going to try to do that if we can figure it out. If Mom and Pa Kettles can sit around a computer and fumble through and figure this out, we're going to try to do that, try to have a live stream for it. Okay? And I've got a number of folks asking about the signing up for 2025. We're not anywhere near ready for that. There's a whole lot going on. I also want to say that we are completely retooling and starting over the whole Shopify store. We've got new t-shirts coming. I've got ball caps ordered. I've got coffee cups ordered. I've got some other things in the works. And so it's not on there today, but I'm working with, we got a new company. The last company we used, they were just not on top of it. And so we've got some new stuff. Mama's got her own new logo. She's fixing to introduce. Okay. And so we're just really excited about some stuff we got coming up. Okay. So just stay with us. We'll let you know when we open up the scheduling for 2025. And until then, we just keep feeding horses, keep making videos, keep building fires, keep smoking cigars, keep drinking coffee until school starts, and then we actually get back to work again. Okay? So anyhow, that's enough of that. Be logical. Be reasonable. Be safe. Have fun. And be nice. All right? Just be nice. We'll catch you guys next time.